In the high Andes Mountains of Peru, God is working in the lives of the Quechua Indians. Their story of struggle and survival has moved us to start Believers Bridge. Through decades of oppression, they have strengthened their faith and have a unique desire to see the gospel spread way beyond their native mountains. Peru, historically, is a Christian nation with a strong Catholic influence. The evangelical church has been active and growing since the late 1800s, but was dealt an almost fatal blow during the Reign of Terror by the Shining Path during the late 80s into this decade. It is because of their reign of terror that Believers Bridge received the cry for help from the Quechua Indians. Not only were political leaders abducted and tortured to further the communist agenda, but also pastors and church leaders were hunted down and martyred by the Shining Path, leaving wives widows, children fatherless, and the churches leaderless. Though severely persecuted, the local church survived along with the faith of the widows and some in the communities. It was the cry of one of these widows while discussing the need in Peru that made the most profound impact on our decision to start Believers Bridge. Her cry, "Don't let the legacy of my husband die." The church he was pastor of survived the oppression of the Shining Path and is still an active church, but the man that stepped up to be pastor had no training, just a heart to serve. Today, there are over 1,000 active churches in the Andes Mountains with less than 100 trained pastors. Their hearts cry for training so they can be better shepherds of the flocks God has entrusted to them. But they face huge obstacles to accomplish this. Educational resources are extremely limited, with only a few institutes, colleges, or seminaries in all of Peru to meet this need. And they are tent makers, just as Paul was. Their full-time job is not in the ministry, but farming or another profession. They don't have vacation, so any time they take off from work is unpaid and has a direct impact on their ability to provide for their family. Believers Bridge is working with the local church to offer a nationally accredited Bible Institute with courses in the Andes beginning in 2010. We need your help to accomplish this huge undertaking of training these pastors and church leaders. Please prayerfully consider how you can support the work God is doing in the lives of Bill and Becky Raleigh and in Peru.